What is going on, everyone? This is Eric coming at you from just outside of Hartford, Connecticut. Today, we're going to be looking at a older trade as we discuss the Alex Rodriguez trade, which occurred on February 15th, 2004. So, let me just do a quick disclaimer here. I'm not going to be discussing the PED scandal. I'm not going to be discussing off the field antics, just talking about the player as a player. So, this trade saw the Texas Rangers offset the salary, the massive salary, and Alex Rodriguez by trading him to the New York Yankees in exchange for two players in second baseman Alfonso Soriano and infielder Joaquin Arias. How did this trade work out for the two teams? Well, it was apparent from the beginning that the Yankees were going to win this trade since they could take the salary. And they did. You can tell just looking at the wars. So Rodriguez, he is definitely one of the most controversial figures in the history of Major League Baseball. And he spent 13 years on the New York Yankees, but he only could play in 12 of them as he was suspended for all of 2014 due to the PED scandal. But during his playing time, he was a two-time AL MVP winner, two-time AL home run leader, and a seven-time All-Star, as well as winning a World Series ring. So all in all, pretty good haul for the Yankees. On the flip side for Texas, Alfonso Soriano, he had two strong seasons before he was traded. In both his seasons in Texas, he was actually an all-star. So he was traded to the Washington Nationals in exchange for three players in outfielder first baseman Brad Wilkerson, outfielder Termel Sledge, and starting pitcher Armando Galarraga. So let's just get Galarraga out of the way first. He only made a couple of appearances for Texas before he was traded to the Detroit Tigers in exchange for outfielder Michael Hernandez. So Hernandez never made the big leagues for Texas. And back to this part of the trade. So Termel Sledge, he never played for Texas either. So unfortunately, two players so far haven't done anything for you. Wilkerson, on the flip side, he had two solid seasons in Texas as a backup player before he just left in free agency. Now, Joaquin Arias, he was decent over parts of 4 seasons. And he ends up getting traded, but he was actually a player to be named later in this trade. And he was picked over Robinson Cano, which is pretty notable because he was younger than Cano. And he was better, on defense. So they picked Arias over Robinson Cano. And again, he was decent for 4 years before they flipped him to the New York Mets for outfielder Jeff Francoeur, who was a fan favorite, and he spent 1 month primarily as a defensive substitute before he left the team. So how did the other teams do? Washington with Alfonso Soriano, they got a career year out of him, but he ended up leaving the team in free agency. The Mets, just to get them out of the way, Arias, he didn't play too much over 1 month before he left the team. And Detroit with Galarraga, he had a very strong rookie year, but after that he began to struggle. And of course, he's known for the near perfect game, the should have been perfect game, against Cleveland. And he spent 3 years in Detroit before leaving the team. So who won this trade? I think it goes without saying. Yankees won this trade with a 54.0 WAR. Texas gets a 5.8 out of the players they've acquired, everyone in red. Not horrible. Washington did better than them, though, with a 6.1 WAR out of Alfonso Soriano. Detroit gets a 4.6 out of Galarraga. And the Mets lose with a negative 0.2. Hope you guys enjoyed this old trade breakdown. Have a great rest of your day.